Howdy, heretics! Today we're going to talk about the overlapping generation and explain it like Jesus would, using goats as an example. Because the Jehovah Witnesses used to believe that the generation that saw 1874 should not disappear before the Armageddon. But then they changed it, so the generation that saw 1914 should not disappear before Armageddon. And 1914, that's a long time ago, so they came up with new light and a new definition of what constitutes a generation. So I will explain this for you using goats. This goat was born in 2016. So she saw the event that took place in 2016. So she's the generation that saw 2016. And this goat was born in 2019. So she was the generation that saw 2019. But now they are contemporary. So now this generation and that generation is the same generation. So now when she left, we still have the generation that saw 2016. 2016, 2020, so one generation. So this goat was born in 2017 and she saw the event that took place in 2017. So she is the generation that saw 2017. And this goat was born in 2019. And they are contemporaries. So since they are contemporaries, they are the same generation. Two generation, one generation, two generation, one generation.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it makes sense. It's maybe you have the wrong attitude. One generation, two generation, three generation, like this. It's over, and then you can use, look, you can have three overlapping. Then it makes more sense. No? Vivian, you have an attitude problem. So, look. So now, this is one generation that's overlapping. And that means this goat that was born 1 month ago is a part of the generation that was born 5 years ago. Of course it makes sense. It's in the Bible. This is what Jesus meant. One generation plus one generation equals one generation. If you don't understand this, there's something wrong with you. Maybe you're a worldly person, maybe you're a mentally diseased apostate, or maybe you are under the influence of masturbation. I know you are. The generation that saw 1914 is pretty old now. So we come up with a new definition of generation. And basically, we believe that generation means contemporary, evidently. Because when Jesus chose to use the word generation, according to Webster's dictionary, he meant contemporary. One generation plus one generation equals one generation. This goat is born in 2016. So she is part of the generation that saw 2016. And this goat is born in 2020. So she's the generation that saw 2020. But now, since they are contemporary or overlapping, she is a part of the generation that saw 2016. It does make sense. maybe there's something wrong with you. One generation plus one generation equals one generation. If you don't understand this, I cannot help you. 3 generation, 1 generation, 3 generation, 1 generation. Jehovah Witnesses believe the generation that saw 1914 should not disappear before Armageddon, and it's disappearing. Literally. Come on. Come on. Come to the camera. It's because we have to come up with a new definition of generation because it's so old. So we believe now in the overlapping generation because that's evidently what Jesus meant. Look here. 1 generation plus 1 generation equals 1 generation. If you don't understand this, ask yourself, maybe there's something wrong with you. Maybe you have a goat-like personality. Maybe it's pride. Are you a homosexual? Are you a homosexual? Repeat after me. 1 plus 1 equals 1. That's what Jesus meant. Evidently. I don't know, but I've been told. I don't know, but I've been told. Generation's getting old. Generation's getting old. If you don't understand the overlapping generation, I can't help you. But ask yourself, why don't you understand? Is it pride? Is it greed? Are you selfish? Do you want to sin? Are you a homosexual? Maybe that's why you refuse to understand this. But don't worry. Jehovah Witnesses used to believe that the generation that saw 1874 should not disappear, and now it's the generation that saw 1914 that should not disappear. I personally believe that we soon will receive new light, that the generation that saw 1976 will not disappear. So, hope you like this video, hope you like this explanation, and be sure to hit the new light notification bell, and you will be notified by YouTube every time Jehovah change his mind. So, see you in paradise.
Ai.